Electrocast.
Dollar bets. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Woohoo!
Yeah, hope you all enjoyed a fantastic football weekend.
Nope.
Z did not, but most certainly did.
What happened? Why was it so great for you, O?
O was on the road,
Road.
took a little plane to the desert, Phoenix, Arizona. Got to see my Lions, the Blue Wave, invade the Valley of the Sun.
Wait, they're the Blue Wave now?
Oh yeah, that's what it's called, the Blue Wave.
Oh, God.
It's because every time the Lions are on the road, there's more Lions fans there than home fans. And I kid you not, there were more Lions fans in whatever that stadium is called.
Okay, well, I
Arizona.
mean, that's not true in Green Bay, Minnesota, or Chicago, or Dallas, or New York, or,
You just wait, baby.
Okay, sure.
You go to Soldier Field this year when the Lions come to town.
There's not going to be more Lions fans than Bears fans.
Buy yourself a ticket.
You buy me a ticket, and I'll count the people. Okay, and by the way, before we get into your experience, I am, really good at approximation of counting, because, that kid, that story about the kid that you drop the toothpicks on the ground, he knows instantly how many there are? Yeah, basically. That wasn't, rumor has it that was actually me. No, but I was working an event this weekend for work on Saturday because there's no football early games, so I volunteered to work. Smart.
Look at the big brains on Z.
Look at these big brains. And there was a jar of Werther's Originals, and I was like, 57. They're like, what? I was like, I think there's 57 in there. Later on, I found out there was exactly 57 in the freaking jar. 57. I pulled it out. Swear to God.
I'll tell a similar story.
Okay.
You'll like this one. Years ago when I was living in Chicago, I went to a Cubs game with a few friends.
Nice.
And, yeah, it may have been nice. But anyway, at some point during the game, up on the screen in the outfield, they put up a little question. Guess today's attendance. And I just look real quickly at the crowd, then turn to my friends and I give them a number. And then, a few seconds later, up on the screen, they put up, 3 multiple choice options. One of them happened to be, really, really close to the number that I had just said.
Yeah.
And then, a minute later, they give us the answer, and it was the one that was close to me. So I was, in a stadium that holds, how big are baseball stadiums? 15,000?
No, the Wrigley Field's 40,000.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. So tens of thousands. I was off by a few hundred people.
That's pretty close, man. I mean, I think it's almost as impressive for sure. Almost as impressive.
I mean, it's not 57 jelly beans or whatever it was.
No, but I'm messed up. I mean, yours is a perfectly healthy assessment of a crowd with a little bit of background info. But you admittedly don't know how many people go to a baseball game because you're not a baseball guy.
I didn't know who was in the bathroom at the time.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of...
You approximated the toilet people.
Yeah, my bathroom camera was off at that
Yeah,
time.
your bathroom, that's great, man. Dude, sports tourism is what's up. So you went to Phoenix. This Blue Wave is just astounding that there's already a name for it. So imagine how, your fortunes can turn around so quickly in sports, and then you have this but it really is only meaningful to the Cubs, the Lions, or the Browns, or some other. At this point, I mean, Carolina Panthers haven't been that bad for that long, but it feels like it. So at that point, it's they're almost there, but they don't have the same.
Carolina Panthers a little bit later in this episode.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it feels like when you've been down so long, but there's still pride, and literally with the Lions because they're the Lions, pride. It's just weird, right? It feels so good, even though it really you should have just quit a long time ago, and it just feels so good. It's I knew she'd come around.
Yeah.
That's where you're at right now.
I say every year at the beginning of the season, it's the year of the Lion, but these last couple years have had a lot more conviction in those predictions.
I think it could be. I mean, I still think it's I think it's a quarterback situation, but we talked off Mike about how Ben Johnson is back in the oh yeah camp. Oh yeah, like, and you saw this play. Like, let's jump to the play. That's gonna get the most attention. But and then you talk about the overall experience. But like, what, a hook and ladder? A hook and ladder? To the end of the half?
First of all, if you follow the Lions and have been following them for the last few years, you know this is not the first time that they have done this.
Oh.
They did this a couple years ago.
Green Bay, right?
Green Bay, yep. The season finale when they ended Rodgers' career in Green Bay.
Yes.
And just like that play, it was the pass was initially to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it is amazing. In both of these, the one 2 years ago in 2022 and the one this past Sunday, it doesn't even seem like he catches this ball.
Yeah.
Like, he does, like, a volleyball.
I don't want it.
Like, it just hits his hands, he just pushes it away, and it goes right to
Gibbs this time,
the
right?
player streaking by. This past week, it was Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, I got a fantasy touchdown for that. That was pretty cool.
What's that?
I got a fantasy touchdown from your hook and ladder that you saw live.
Yeah, not only did I see it live, but he basically was running straight at us because my seats were in the corner of the end zone.
Were you pretty low or like up? Were you up kind of high or? Sorry, I think I cut you off there.
I was lower bowl. I think we were like row 20 or something.
You're on that lower bowl life, Mr. Blue Wave, spending blue greens, man. Jesus, that's awesome. Yeah, we are very far up. Soldier Field this week.
Was beautiful. The execution was beautiful. The only thing that was not beautiful about it was as the play went into the end zone, Sam Laporta, the Lions tight end, had his ankle rolled up. He actually went by cart out of the game, but he did come back later into the game, so that was good.
Maybe he had to go to the bathroom. I mean, you get carted and he come back. That's pretty impressive. That's like soccer where you're like, they go out on the cot and then they're like, oh, I'm dying, muerto. And then they're like, just run back in the game. It's crazy. A little different because they probably get
compare American football players with football players ever again. Because those guys would, like, die from a paper cut.
Oh, yeah. It's brutal. I mean, but it's your legs. Like, when you get hit in the legs, you just feel like crap. Because you're like, wait, am I not going to be able to walk? I can't walk? And then, like, 20 minutes later, you're like, oh, that was, okay, I'm okay. But, like, not really, though. It's still, like, you can, like, walk it or run it off, and then later you feel bad. But I feel bad for the injury situation, especially with looking up at the Vikings right now. But are the Vikings going to come back to earth? I don't know.
I mean, I know. Yeah, they are. Sam Darnold isn't doing this for 17 games.
No, correct. And
he's having the hot streak of his life right now. The 3-game hot streak of his life.
But they have the receivers. I mean, Cousins was just as good for over a longer stretch. So it's like, if they have the receivers and this guy coaches not like he's not in the playoffs.
He's also had success previously.
Yeah.
Darnold has repeatedly been unsuccessful.
Okay, the Jets and the Panthers had nothing. Besides, I mean, Jets had literally nothing, and the Panthers had DJ Moore, and then they traded him in the greatest trade of all time. So what were the concessions like? What'd you eat? Who'd you talk to? What did they play on the loudspeakers? You went to a NFL football game in Arizona? That's great. There's been Super Bowl. That's the closest thing the Lions have been with Super Bowl.
This game, I've got a few things. First of all, I'm going to just give the city of Phoenix and that stadium, whatever its name is, and the fans there, I'm going to give them collectively, like, a D-.
Wait, we've been to Phoenix before.
It was horrible. The traffic was horrible. Like, there was no sense to how long it took us to get into that parking lot.
Yeah.
There was even less sense how long it took us to get out. Like, I've been to a lot of stadiums all over the world. This was probably the worst traffic situation I've ever seen.
I mean, well, let's see, like Detroit's, I don't know what it was like at the Silverdome, but Ford Field is downtown, so it's like as long as you can literally get downtown anywhere you can walk within a mile or so or less, like you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's different because not all the parking
Yeah.
is right at Ford Field. In fact,
Yeah, exactly.
Not.
Yeah.
Like this stadium down in Phoenix has a giant parking lot where everybody parks.
It's like designed for cluster F like events, not like. Can you imagine having season tickets to that?
What's that?
Imagine having season tickets to a mid franchise like the Cardinals.
Oh, God.
God.
No, I don't want.
They let him off the hook. They let him off the hook and ladder. Oh.
I don't know anything about the concessions. All I had was a beer.
You see what I did there? You missed it.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said they let him off the hook and ladder. They let him off the hook.
They were who we knew, or who we thought they
The
were.
Lions are who we thought they were, which is a good team. They're a good team that I'd say they're a better. Weirdly, at this point, they're almost a better franchise than a team because there are some parts that are obviously can be concerning sometimes, like with depth or with they have more depth than they've ever had, but like more depth in the secondary or like pass rush, and because I'm not convinced that Glenn is like an elite defensive coordinator yet, but like I don't really know the personnel quite as much as you do, obviously, and we can crap on each other's teams, but you guys are definitely better, and I'm going to give a nod to that. You're a better franchise right now too because you have a coach that's damn good, and at least one of his coordinators looks elite, and defensive coordinator I think is probably going to be good enough. I mean, hell, man, you're doing it. You're really doing it, and we are one seed was the Lions, right? That's still intact. I mean, they're close to Seattle. This next game determines the 1 seed, right?
Well, Minnesota.
Oh, wait, Minnesota. Oh, it's Detroit and Seattle, baby. The rematch.
Yeah. Monday night, which I gotta wait one extra day to see my Lions this time.
Yeah. Do something else
That's the only
on
bad
Sunday.
thing about Monday night.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Plus, also being real tired on Tuesday morning.
yeah, you're going to be tired at AF. Are you going?
To be determined.
To be determined.
If they put out some standing room only seats,
Yeah.
and I can get in on that sale.
Okay. All right. So here's what we're gonna do.
What are we gonna do?
What we're gonna do is you listener are gonna go to signupexpert.com/$bets with a Z. So this is the send O retroactively when it cashes to O's gonna go to the game if you flood this with opportunities for you to make money off O going to a game. It's great. That's great. Because you know what? We are broadcasting our butts off, and if you don't take these deals, the listeners screwed it up. That's a nod to John L. Smith, former Michigan State coach. God, what a bozo.
Not to be confused with current Michigan State coach Jonathan Smith.
Jonathan Smith just dresses like a bozo, but he's pretty smart. When he had the horizontal stripes for a home opening game, rock those horizontal stripes. I mean, do they make them wear those certain things? Like, no, you can pick, or your wife can pick, or somebody can pick. Like, that was the choice, a bold Allen from 2.5 Men choice. So I got to tell you, that Florida Atlantic game still, it's like that was very concerning. But the Maryland game was incredible. Prairie View, whatever. And for Michigan State fans out there, which is nobody apparently, that's listening, but whatever, tough shit. It came down to an aggressive-minded offensive play caller, which is in the coaching staff, letting a 19-year-old just go to work. And when a 19-year-old goes to work, you're going to get some variance in performances sometimes. But I thought overall, young quarterbacks. We're going to seg into young quarterbacks because Jayden Daniels off the chain, and we knew it when we saw him beat our Spartans like 4 years ago as a freshman and a sophomore when he was at Arizona State. I've been saying it, the guy is the truth, and he proved it last night. He proved it with some major league throws. He did whiff on one, but he made two absolute stunners, dime pieces to McLaurin. And Caleb Williams had his first 2 touchdowns, and he threw 52 times. They didn't win. He had a fumble where he was blindsided, but it was maybe enough time where he could have got rid of it. But you know what?
Right,
Growing pains. And Aiden Chiles, same thing.
Let's rank these rookie quarterbacks. Obviously,
Daniels won.
Penix and McCarthy are
Penix is 99th. He's Penix is 99th and McCarthy is 100th. That's my rankings. Daniels, I saw that play and replay, I think, or maybe live, one of them, and I was like, the game-ending play, essentially. I put him up 12. Ridiculous. He threw it in a window, just cocked it back, and just drilled it from like 45 yards. Probably the throw was 50 yards in the air, right into the end zone on the sideline. And he's like, Scary Terry reaches up and go, bloop! And his feet, he had time to check his feet. I was like, oh. I wanted to be like, that's my MFing quarterback, but it's not. But as a Bears fan, I was like, are we sure? Are we sure? Because I know that Daniels is more proven. But Caleb Williams does have a pretty impressive skill set and probably has a higher floor because of the lack of, not as much rushing, more scrambling. So less likely to get injured like an RG3 situation. Who was lightning in a bottle, essentially. Okay, so number one is Jayden Daniels. Do you disagree?
Well, I was going to go the other way. I was starting it from the bottom, but...
We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Daniels, number one.
Yeah. Wait, who's the other guy besides Nix and Caleb?
So,
There's four, right? There's four starting and two... One injured.
Drake Maye, who is not the starter, but he's seen some action.
Okay.
So he's number 4.
I still put Caleb above Nix, but Nix took definitely a big leap.
I think Nix and Caleb are really close right now.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to actually put Nix ahead of Caleb.
All right. Well, is it based on what, like, this last... Because their first two performances, like, I thought Caleb was better than Nix, but this last one, Nix was clearly... They won. He played well. However, here's the thing that I think that at best they're like real close together, even if Nix is ahead right now. Look who he's got Sean Payton coaching him, who got to work with Drew Brees, and he learned some things when you work with a. Begrudgingly, I must say this because I never liked Brees, but he was pretty effing good, right? He was pretty damn good. So you learn some things of like scheme wise when you're used to success and you look good, it makes you actually be good. Like you don't just forget how to coach when just because you had Russell Wilson and whoever the hell else he had. Like on the Saints, Jameis Winston and Russell, late stage, end stage, we should say, Russell Wilson, don't make you like not know how to coach anymore. Same thing with Belichick. It's like he didn't forget how to coach. Like, no, these guys were terrible, and you can't win without unless you have an absolutely elite defense. We're talking 2000 Ravens, 85 Bears, even the 06 era Bears where they let them off the hook era Bears. Let them off the hook. Those type of defenses were the best defense of the year, clearly, like by a wide margin. Unless you have that, you're not winning without at least an okay performance at quarterback. I don't care how good of a coach you are, especially nowadays when other quarterbacks can launch and it's touch football rules, you know? So, I don't know, man. I think they're really close, but yeah, Jayden Daniels, way ahead of the game. And the thing is, look at what Caleb Williams doesn't have compared to these others. You have Cliff Kingsbury, who still can coach offense, dude. He's the Washington offensive coordinator. Where did he interview? Chicago. What did Chicago not do? Make the right goddamn hire. Again. Shane Waldron, you get a F, you get a White Sox level grade, okay? You F- so far for Shane Waldron because he stinks. Maybe he'll turn it around. Because again, like if you have as a coach, Oren, if you get like great stuff to work with, the raw materials to work with, you're not gonna produce as much of a lumpy turd as someone that gets nothing to work with. You get literally nothing to work with. Like Joe Brady had is it Joe Brady? Is that the Buffalo Bills coordinator? Brady. He was at Carolina under Rule, and they had, who they have? Nothing. Nobody. Got fired, and now he's the Bills coordinator, and they're 10-2 since he took over, including the playoff loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, which anyone could do. Anyone.
Yeah.
Best coach in sports probably is Andy Reid, I think.
I mean, definitely in football, especially now that Belichick is retired.
Yeah, I mean active at best active.
Yeah, that's unanimous.
Yeah. Oh no, Popovich. Okay, Popovich won Andy Reid too. I mean that's what I feel.
I was gonna say Popovich, and then I don't know anything about baseball, and I certainly couldn't tell you too many hockey coaches' names.
Do you think by the end of the season, I don't think Drake May will play enough games by the end of the season, or Penix to vault even if Bo Nix or Caleb Williams or Jayden Daniels plays like shit the rest of the way, and they drop to third. I don't think May. I don't think will play enough to leap him because I just don't think they have enough there in New England to justify playing him because he didn't start that many years, right? He was like 2-year starter.
I mean, Brissett has been serviceable.
Well, he's out there. He's the body bag essentially. Like he felt
he's not
get
games
through it
for them, a la Tennessee's Will Levis.
Oh, not to the same degree. It's more like a slow depressive like loss that it's incoming that you know about going in is what happens. Because like when they played the Jets, they looked like utter shit. I mean, I don't think he had 100 yards, did he? Maybe he had a little over 100 yards passing. And I don't know if he had one turnover or something, but it's like at a certain point, I mean, the Patriots in the first 2 weeks were actually rather decent, right? They lost a close game to Seattle in overtime, and they won against the Bengals. So it's like they clearly have a good coach. I think he's making the right call because on paper, May didn't do as much as those other two guys did to justify the higher ranking. A lot of it was on measurables and stuff. So he's making the right call, but if I was him, I'd be like, who'd you learn from? Bill Belichick, right? I'd be like, shut up. Like, he's my guy until he breaks, and then I do what I want. It's my team. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. What are you going to get fined? It's the NFL. They don't care. They don't care. It's fine. It's fine. He should be, instead of like more shielded about it, he should just be like, yeah, this guy's a body bag. I mean, we don't want to, our offensive line is shit. We stink, like, but I can coach, and our defense is surprisingly game. So we're going to play the don't turn it over in the air game. And if he gets pummeled, he gets pummeled, and it's fine. Next question. I only talk about Spartans. Yeah.
Speaking of fines.
Yeah.
I think this would be a wonderful time to segue into a little accounting work.
Okay. This accounting work is sponsored by signupexpert.com/$bets with a Z. It's signupexpert.com/$bets with a Z. We personally have known a couple of people have signed up, and that's great. It's great.
More.
We want more because we like betting, so we want that bankroll to go to more football games and bet on more winning games or losing games. You know, wherever the week takes us, because that's the adventure. You gotta. If there's time, actually next podcast we'll definitely talk more about that strategy when you feel like you're a little cold and you want to be like, ooh, pause. We got to get back on heater ground, man. How do you get back on heater ground? Tune in next time, right? Okay, but we're doing accounting. Signupexpert.com/$bets brings you that accounting in which I owe money. This is an owing segment.
Yep. So here we go. Real quick with the recap. We looked at 11 college games last week. We disagreed on 3 of them. We disagreed on Georgia Tech, Louisville, with you taking Tech, me taking the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I won that bet.
Mm-hmm.
We disagreed on Tennessee at Oklahoma, you taking the Vols, me taking the Sooners. You won that bet.
Oh, yeah.
And we disagreed on Kansas State versus BYU. You took the Wildcats, I took the Cougars. I won that bet. So from college, I took 2 out of 3. So you owe me $1, but hold on to that thought for just 1 second.
Oh, yes.
We also bet or discussed. Did we talk about all the games? Looks like we looked at every single professional game. Disagreed on 6 of them.
Oh, yes.
You won Packers over the Titans. I won Colts over the Bears. I won Eagles over the Saints. I won Ravens over the Cowboys. I won, of course, the Lions over the Cardinals. And
yes.
Succeeded with Chiefs over the Falcons.
Yeah.
So that was 4-2 me in the pro. So another $2. Net, add it all up, $3 coming my way.
Came your way.
Time to do 9 individual Venmo payments right now.
I sent it.
Still a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I sent it.
Z, if you would do me the honors,
I did it. Go look at your phone. $3. Go look at your phone. It says O rules, Z drools.
Oh, did you already do it?
Oh yeah.
You're so much faster at that than I am.
I'm really good. Oh, I have.
You are the fastest Venmo in the West.
Yeah, you're damn right. Hey, if I owe you money, you're gonna get that shit right quick.
Oh, rules, dude! My Venmo balance is now up to $6.
Really?
You know,
that's nice.
6 Zioli dollars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Z-Bucks.
Z-Bucks, got them Z-Bucks. Pouring it. I've been bleeding like a stuck pig the last 2 weeks, but I'm glad I was busy enough that I didn't get as many tweets in because maybe people still think we're like great at it. But that's the thing is like it's a survival game, right? So when you stink, you don't stink. Your picks stink, right? So you have to first remember that. And when your picks rule, no, you rule then. It's because of you, obviously. It's always us. But in this an update on the season-long spread pool that I'm in, it's a couple less people this year. I think last year was like 21 or 23 people. This year it's 17, but I'm in third place by ourselves with my partner on that. So we're like 2 games back. Not bad after 3 weeks, including a couple shitty weeks for picks, but weren't shitty when the ones were having a part. Okay, if you're gonna do a pool with spreads, you should have a partner. Have a dancing partner in that because you hammer out the ones that are just things that you want to happen, and you settle on things that you think will happen. So, and then you're wrong still sometimes, but it's okay. It's all right because we're here for you. We're here at Dollar Bets. Are here for you. So you can email us at dollarbetsshow or at gmail.com. I think that's what it is. But tweet us at dollarbetsshow or dollarbets or whatever. I botched that.
With a Z.
I botched that. You don't tweet me. It's okay. I tweet you. You don't tweet me. I tweet you. I X you. So let's see. We're not gonna do picks tonight because we got a date later in the week with each other for that. So I think this is we talk about what went wrong. The segment of what went wrong. First off, Shane Waldron stinks. That doesn't mean this is the Bears' offense coordinator. This doesn't mean that he's going to stink forever. But given recent history, and by recent I mean since the 1940s, I would say he probably will, which is very sad. But in a way, not sad because the Bears are 100%. 94% going to fire their coaching staff after the season unless they go to the playoffs, right? Like, how do you not fire them if they don't go to the playoffs? With, like, you brought in a Dunze. Like, the GM has done everything for them, right? He made that steal. What's his flat-out stole from them? He went in and shoplifted the Panthers franchise. He's like, oh, anything under $1,000 is okay? Okay, we'll take DJ Moore. Suck it. And they did. And then they got the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams. Got that. Suck it. They did. They got Tyreek Stevenson, one of their corners with that, starting corner. Suck it. They did. So it's great. It's awesome. However, someone still has to coach them, right? And the people are coaching them, they're screwing it up. So it sucks. But I'm going there in person, and I'm anticipating heart says win, head says only a win that makes them more mid in the long run. So it's like we win the battle, lose the war kind of thing. But I want to throw a shitload of money at like a McVay or someone like that or a Joe Brady at this point. I think his name's Joe. Or I might have screwed it up like we screw up our names all the time because it's not just you anymore. It's not just you. I did something like that recently. Not non-Jalen Brunson, Derek Brunson. Great. That was an all-timer. Yeah, so I think coaching hires matter. They do. And when you have guys like Cliff Kingsbury, him and the former man, does he still own that house? That was a dope house. Remember from the draft? The COVID draft? He's like in this like, it was a Viagra house, man.
do not remember this at all.
Look later if you're bored. Look up Cliff Kingsbury 2021 draft. I think a 2020 draft. Awesome. It was dope. It's just like palatial estate in Phoenix, and it was goat. It was goat. It was a goat house. It was a goat house, man. He was just sitting there on his couch like drafting. I'm like, it didn't look like he was drafting, but it's like how everyone thinks they are when they're in a fantasy draft versus how they really are. They're at like a B-dubs with bad wireless and disinterested service because it's not hot anymore. Like
I am looking at some images of this house right now. This thing is off the hook.
Yeah.
This is like some Robin Leach Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous
like
type of house right here.
It's like his house is so good that it probably made him not care about being shitty at his head coaching job or just not having enough talent or whatever it was, because it was a dope house. And like if you can't get laid on that house, like something's going on, man. Because
can we talk about coaches' houses though for a second?
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this?
You wanted it to. I was gonna let that slide for tonight, but
what's that?
Those fans are probably also Wolverines fans, and that's the problem. Losers. No other franchise would do that besides the Eagles, man. The Eagles and the Lions are the only ones that are pathetic enough that would do that. They're going to suburban Detroit. It's not even downtown.
Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
He is a married man. He has what I imagine is a high school age daughter.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. And last year, when the Lions lost in the playoffs to the 49ers, some people had shown up to Dan Campbell's house.
So pathetic. My God.
Obviously, Campbell wasn't home.
Yeah.
His wife wasn't home. The daughter was there alone. Some people showed up. Like, they were, like, shouting and harassing the daughter. Like, just, saying stuff about Dan and, like, angry at Dan for the Lions' loss.
Yeah.
And it turns out, and the reason I bring up the daughters, it turns out that daughter had put out the address somewhere, and then some of her school friends started like posting the address with like comments about Campbell.
Didn't sound like it was a school friend.
People just showing up at the coach's house.
Yeah.
Long story short, the coach put that house on the market, has already moved to a new house, which we will all do our best to protect the...
No, he already got doxxed on that too.
What's that?
The real estate agent doxed him for clout.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Classic.
So, anyway, moral of this...
Detroit mentality, that's a Detroit mentality.
An opportunity to teach you guys, don't show up to the houses of professional athletes and or coaches.
No.
Just don't do it. Be a good person. It's a game.
NFL fans aren't good people.
NFL fans are not good people.
No, they're not. You see all these fights? I mean, look at who's fighting these. You wonder how they could even afford, like, one game, let alone, like, just how do you go in the world and then this is, like, you pivot to this? Like, it doesn't seem like that much of a pivot for these people, right? But if you're listening and you like to fight at NFL games, thank you for listening. Keep listening. Thank you. That's nice. Keep fighting. That's fine. Whatever.
Keep watching the UFC.
Keep fighting each other. I personally enjoy it, but it's
there were no fights at the Lions-Arizona game.
Really?
Despite the fact that the Lions fans outnumbered the Arizona fans.
Well, if there were fights there, I would think it would be like Lions fans fighting other Lions fans.
No, we don't do that.
Yes, you do. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
Maybe
it's gonna get
back at the Silverdome.
I'd read stories as recent as yesterday, possibly today, because of this, but Lions fans fighting each other and stuff, and fighting other fans. It's just like I don't think Lions fans get beat up by other fans because it's like, oh, we shouldn't do that because they're Lions fans. But things are changing, okay? So now it's gonna be Lions fans fighting like well-off Lions fans or like Detroit well-off. You know what I mean? Like not like where you're from, but like not to dox you, but like where like people are from like one of the minor gross points or something, fighting someone from downriver, and it's like, ooh, that's gonna end well. That's really gonna. This is all about lines in Chicago and how this is like.
I'm putting my money on the gross point guy. That guy probably had all the finest self-defense coaches growing up.
What? You think so? You think they got Krav Maga? They did some Krav Maga? Yeah, I'm not taking the gross point guy. I don't know, man. I've spent some time at gross point. I'm not intimidated by some gross point person. Like, no, they would get whooped. Because the downriver person their whole goal is to pull you downriver, man. They're going to just beat you. Because they don't care about themselves. They've followed the Lions for 30 years. They're like 43 now, and they don't care. They don't care that they're good now. They want to fight you. Because, well, this is our Lions. How dare you take up all the tickets and raise the prices? Like, oh, I'm sorry.
I live here in Detroit. I can't say anything bad about anybody in this conversation.
But it's everybody. It's other places. It's other teams, too. Look, I've been around Ravens and Eagles fans.
People from downriver that can afford Lions tickets these days.
Right, and that's a problem because the NFL makes enough money off of TV and stuff that the ticket prices don't have to be outrageous, right? Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but like...
It was actually cheaper for me to buy a flight and a ticket to the game in Arizona than it would have been for me to just buy a ticket here in Detroit.
For a similar game, or like for the Seahawks game?
For any game. Like, you cannot get a ticket for under hundreds and hundreds of dollars at this point.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think it would be less than $250 sounds not the case anymore, especially if you include some fees. But if you went, or if it's hypothetically, we're talking about NFL economy here. So hypothetically, as a ticket is less than $250, and it's like you use 2 tickets. You go with a buddy, you go with a girlfriend, you go with your kid or whatever, or you go with somebody else's girlfriend. I don't know, whatever you want to do. And it's $500 for 2 people. So you get stuff, parking. You're looking at $750, but you go to 1 game a year. And 2 people, that's not as horrible. It still kind of sucks, but it's like you're probably if you're a decent team, you're gonna get a good experience out of it. Especially if it's a kid. Take a kid, take your dad, take a kid, take your dad, take an uncle, something like that. Yeah, but it's still that's a lot. Like Bears game's gonna be a lot, but like it's okay because I'm going to 1 Bears home game, right? I might go to a Washington game if I go shoplift and sell some plasma and sell the stuff I shoplift, but I might do it because it's Williams against Jayden Daniels sounds exciting, right? But to me, if you're talking about going to a random game like a Titans game or like a Carolina game or something, you're going to watch Will Levis just spill mayo out onto the field and throw a pick 6. Has he thrown a pick 6 3 weeks in a row? I think he has.
Are we gonna make a dollar bet that it's gonna be 4?
I kind of want to. Does it have to be?
It'll happen.
It has to be returned for a touchdown.
That's what a pick 6 is.
Oh yeah, I know. All right, I'm gonna say no.
It's just a pick.
No, a pick 6. It has to be a pick 6. I'm gonna say he doesn't.
Either a pick 6 or a fumble return for a touchdown. He will turn it over.
Okay. There needs to be a corollary to this. Okay? Because if it's like he throws a pass that's in someone's hands and they drop it, not just hit. If they're hit or they drop it in rhythm, like I said, in rhythm throw, and then that gets tipped in return for a touchdown, that doesn't count because that's not on. It has to be an on the quarterback turnover. So same thing if he gets utterly blindsided and not borderline blindsided like the Caleb Williams hit. I don't know if you saw that decided the Colts game, but it was like when I looked at it again, I was like, oh, maybe he could have stepped up and avoided that, but I don't know. But it's got to be clearly a Levis. He has to pull. Will Levis pulls a Levis.
There's too much subjectivity.
No, if Will Levis pulls a Levis, you get $1. Deal. $1 bet. If he has to pull a Levis officially.
A pick 6 or a strip sack fumble 6.
A non-blind side where he has at least some culpability in the play. Agreed?
Again,
No.
introduce the subject.
No. The bet is null if it results in a touchdown that wasn't his fault remotely. I don't win the bet. It just becomes a null.
Interception or his fumble, and it gets returned.
Fine. You can win on a Titans blind side where they're just like, screw this guy, whatever, hit him, mash him, whatever. You get $1. You get an extra $1 if he does the oh no again like that.
Oh, he puts his hands on his head.
That is the image of the season. Still, it's amazing. And we had a big boy touchdown last night in the Washington game. Doesn't matter.
Oh.
Still the image of the season. What?
And listen to this. Wait a minute.
Listen to what?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tennessee is playing Monday night at Miami.
Yeah, double Monday night.
2 Monday night games next week.
Yeah, it's for a couple weeks in the beginning of the season.
Oh, that's horrible. I will definitely not be watching the Tennessee game.
What a horrific undercard that is. They're both 0-3, right? No, the Dolphins won one game when they had a pulse.
Miami's 1-2, but Miami's down to their third-string quarterback, former Lion practice squatter Tim Boyle.
Wait, Tim Boyle starting?
He's the one who came in the last game when what's his name had his ribs busted.
Oh, you 1,000% try to trade for Bryce Young, right? What? You don't think they should? You don't think Mike McDaniel can coach?
I don't think Bryce Young is your target.
Tua's not tall. Bryce Young, the biggest knock on him is he's small, right?
That's one of his problems.
Okay, here's the thing. They need to do this because their season is done. They're done if they don't have a quarterback. Done. What is the strength of their team? 2 receivers, 2 pretty decent running backs, good defensive line.
Thank you very much.
What's that?
They are good. They are not decent. They are good.
I know, but like Mostert's all right. He's decent. He's gotten hurt. A-Chain's better.
And Achani's the better one, and Mostert.
Is it Achani? I thought it was It's not A-Chain. It's Achani. If you looked it up, are we both wrong? Maybe it's Akanye.
I thought it's Achani.
I don't know. I'm not a freaking Dolphins fan. I don't have to do this.
Like saying A-Chain though.
I know A-Chain, man. My game's off the chain. A-Chain. They're happy to get A-Chain now, which is off first down, which they don't get with Skylar Thompson. He stinks. It sucks, but I don't like saying that players stink, but I mean, the dude's making a lot more money than us. I mean, he can probably handle it.
They did sign Tyler Huntley, but he wasn't ready to play this last week.
Okay, so Huntley's going to be their quarterback, right?
Week 4.
Huntley's definitely starting. There's no way they start Tim Boyle. They might as well start former Big Ten Network guy Tim Doyle, the basketball player and gambling guy. Like, there's no way you're going to win with Tim Boyle with, like, I don't know, though. He's better coaching, though, right? So maybe not. Maybe I'm down on Boyle, and I should be up on Boyle. Boyle's ready to boiling hot.
You do not have to be up on Boyle.
Boiling hot in the Monday night heat of Miami. Yeah, man.
Cold. All right, but speaking of quarterbacks coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
How about Carolina's Andy Dalton, Big Red.
Red Rifle, man.
Red Rifle just doing it to Vegas.
Red Rifle literally to Vegas, too, in the gambling, too, because Red Rifle gave me a reverse Red Rocket, and when the Raiders got crushed, and it was just like yet another nail in the coffin of a bad football week. That was fun, though. It's great. It's nice. Yeah. It's great to lose. It's wonderful.
319 yards, 3 TDs, no picks.
Yeah.
That's a solid stat line.
That's pretty good.
When was the last time he played?
Last year. I think. I don't know. Who was he on last year? Where was he? Saints?
This was like vintage Andy Dalton. If you guys remember, Andy Dalton, his first 4 years in the NFL, he led Cincy to the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely going to go back to this is going to be okay. Are they going to win a couple more games with Andy Dalton? Yes. Is this a positive step? Absolutely not. They should have made sure. I'm not. Do you really think like the trade value is going to be really that good for Bryce Young by saving him from himself? No. It would only the trade value wouldn't have been much better or much worse if they had trotted him out there, body bag him, keep losing games, and go out there and trade the number 1 pick or get a quarterback if you really love one of these guys. But I would tank for Manning. I would completely tank for Arch Manning for the following year.
Arch Manning is not draft eligible next year.
I know, but they're bad, dude. Have you before the
want them to tank for the next 2 years?
Before Andy Dalton, they don't. They could choose not to, and it wouldn't matter. Except they're playing a mid veteran, and he played his butt off because he wants some more jobs, man. You playing like you're gonna go get a couple $1 million. You play like you were worth a couple $1 million one time, maybe a couple times. But the idea of a Sam Darnold and Andy Dalton revolution and David Carr until last week, like, are you buying it? I mean, I'm not buying it. And also, here's the thing: like, the Panthers don't have to freaking get a number 1. They don't have to get a quarterback because guess what? Justin Fields, I don't think he can be franchised because he was on another team's contract, right? Or can he next year? I'd rather go get Fields. Go pay for Fields instead of getting like a rookie. Go 5th-year Fields over a rookie. I'm taking that. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's what Quinn Ewers, who you would stash anyways, probably as the number 1, because he's a little rough, right? Are you gonna go? Are you gonna go Shedeur Sanders?
Number 1 quarterback.
What's that?
This coming draft.
Yeah, Carson Beck, him, and then the Miami guy, right? Who's probably way.
Lord,
he's probably way over.
Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss.
I think Dart's gonna be a decent one. I wouldn't take him that high.
Georgia quarterback.
Carson Beck. I mean, yeah, but I don't know, man. It's tough to tell when they're, when they're like that, when they just win, and it's like, yeah, but look at that defense, But I mean, the receivers haven't been amazing. They've just been good. I mean, Conkey's good, and who they had before, Pickens was pretty good, but I don't know. I mean, Georgia receivers haven't been like just destroying teams like Alabama receivers have, right? And so it's like
Georgia's been like tight end university.
Yeah,
while Bama has been wide receiver U.
Yeah,
along with Ohio State.
Ohio State's quarterback U now, right now. You got those 2 quarterbacks are 5-1, and that's pretty good. The last 2 quarterbacks that they had that came out were Fields and Stroud, and right now you got a candidate for comeback player of the year, I think, and then you have Stroud as an MVP candidate, right? Hey, my Dak picks looked a little.
Dalton's going to be comeback player of the year.
I don't know, man. It's he 1 game versus 3 games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, was he traded for a 6th round / 4th round conditional pick? No. Left for dead? No. He's just closer to dead because he's older. Like, so it's like, I don't know. I love going back to the state of the quarterback. It's like we got an election coming up, so state of the quarterback. Where do we stand in this day and age? I gotta say, Dalton, it's impressive that he did that, but it's still the Raiders who don't move the ball well, and he's playing for his life. Not really, but he's playing for more years in the NFL, right? So it's like, okay, does he still have that in him? Yes, clearly. But let's see him do it. Who do they play this week? I mean, let's see him do it against somebody that's not the Raiders, right? I don't know.
Let's see. Carolina has...
like the Jets or something? I don't know who they play.
They host Cincinnati.
Ooh. Ugh.
The 0-3 Cincinnati's.
Plenty of tickets still available. I think Carolina's like 5.4 point underdog, something like that. Gamblers, stay away from that game. Don't do it. Don't take it.
Yeah, Cincy minus 5.5.
Yeah, do not take any side of that game. Do not.
Maybe take the under 44.5.
No, I would take nothing. I wouldn't watch it. It doesn't exist. I don't take the over. I don't take the under. I don't take the props. I don't take nothing. I just go pass it by because I'm a vet. I'm a savvy vet, man. And that's how you lose shit. That's how you lose your shirt. Okay? You'll have no shirt. You'll be Antonio Brown. End of his career, Brown, just walking off the field. No shirt. No shirt? You're not going to wear a shirt? You don't want to do that, man. Oh, you don't want to bet on that game. That's our betting advice before our betting show is don't take the dog shit game. Because you got a desperate team against a desperate man, and you do not want that shit. You're going to make money off that?
But, money line, who would you take in that game? Bengals or Panthers?
Well, the problem is I didn't see with my own eyes the Dalton Renaissance. So, God, the Panthers. I can't believe I'm saying that, but, oh my God, dude. The Bengals are... They gave up 38 points to Washington, man. 38 points.
Yeah. That
was in Cincinnati. 38 points in Cincinnati. So, I'm not... you know how you like to, like, say no on the betting column of, like, when we do the picks? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say do not want. Abstain. I do not like it, Sam. I will not take this.
I think I agree with you. I think the Panthers pull that off.
Yeah.
And get to 2-2.
I think they do. And then I think they go in the fucking... oops. Swear jar. All right, we got to get out of here. I'm going to start swearing too much. I'm going to owe so much more money. So tune in on... What are we doing, Thursday or tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, because you know what I'm doing tomorrow?
Playing soccer?
No.
It's a lady. Whoa.
What am I always doing?
Wednesday?
Well, it's not a Wednesday specific thing. What do I always do?
I always work. Work that.
No.
Work that angle. Go to the dog park.
What do I spend my money on?
Lions.
I'm going to a concert tomorrow.
Going to a concert. Who's playing?
I'm going to see the String Cheese Incident tomorrow night.
Oh, that's one of them jam bands.
That's one of them jam bands.
Man, hey, if you want to hang with someone that likes to jam, is your man.
Yeah, I'm going to go get my hippie wiggle on.
You're going to wiggle. Hey, we're going to wiggle on out of here, okay? We'll see you probably Thursday, because I got to go to Chicago on Friday. So, hey, gamble responsibly, i.e. don't take a dog shit, double-sided dog shit game, okay? Don't do it. You don't want to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it.
Dreaming of the perfect event or longing for a clutter-free space? I'm Stephanie with I'm with Steph, where your vision becomes a reality. From magical weddings to transformative home organizing, we bring you expertise and passion to every project. Whether you're planning a grand celebration or seeking peace through organization, we tailor our services to meet your unique needs. I'm with Steph. To explore our services and connect with me directly, visit imwithsteph.com. Mention Electricast for a 20% discount.
Hi everyone, I'm Geraldine Glass, a leader in the field of music as medicine, and I'm excited to share with you my newest release of healing sound, Pentatonic Visions, with Chris Scholler and Electricast Records. Immerse yourself in ethereal realms where the harmonies of nature, tribal rhythms, and soundscapes blend with the crystal singing bowls. It's out now, streaming on all platforms.
Electricast.